Yes, sir. Welcome to episode 1 of Ball Talk with Paul. You already know what it is. I'm your host, Paul, and today's episode is packed with some major heat. Now, before we dive in, I just wanted to apologize for the episode delay. I'm doing this all by myself, and I thought the process would be a bit smoother, and I just have a lot going on at home, being a full-time fiance and a father. So for now, I would just be doing one episode per week every Friday at 8 p.m. So stick with me, y'all. You won't regret it. Also, please make sure you follow, subscribe, like, and share this show. Trust me, it's only the beginning. Tonight, we're talking about why Jalen Hurts is not just a top 5 quarterback, but the best quarterback in the NFL. Also, I got thoughts on big trade drama from Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin. Then I'll be ranking every NFL team 1 through 32. Also giving you my honest truth on Shannon Sharpe's ESPN fallout. And I'll close out with the Hall of Fame game and takeaways and shout outs to the legends who just got inducted. Let's talk some ball, y'all. Look, I'm going to say this loud and clear. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He's not top 5. He's not top 3. He is the best. And I don't care if you think I'm being biased. I'm backing this up with facts, wins, and receipts. Y'all quit to throw flowers at Mahomes, hype up Lamar, scream Josh Allen this or Joe Burrow that. But when Hurts steps up and wins, all of a sudden, it's the system. He got carried. Nah, I'm not going for it. Let's break down the facts. Let's start with the resume. In just 4 seasons as a starter, Jalen Hurts already has a Super Bowl ring, a Super Bowl MVP, 3 straight years with 15 or more rushing touchdowns. By the way, that's a record for all NFL quarterbacks, multiple Pro Bowls, and a win percentage that stacks up against anyone in the league. That's generational stuff, and yet people act like he's just riding coattails. Come on now, where's the credit that is due? Show me a non-elite quarterback with this type of resume. You can't do it. Now let's talk head-to-head matchups. You want elite QB battles? Hurts is 9-1 versus the so-called top dogs of this league. Let's break it down. Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is 2-1 against him. Mind you, 2 of those games are played in the Super Bowl, which is the biggest game in the league. Lamar Jackson. Jalen is 1-0 against him, beat him in his house, and outplayed him thoroughly. Joe Burrow. He's also 1-0 against Joe. Went to Cincinnati, whooped him like he stole something. Josh Allen, 1-0, went toe-to-toe against the reigning MVP with an overtime victory. Matthew Stafford, 2-0. Beat him regular season in LA, and then we beat him at the link in the playoffs. Jordan Love, also 2-0. Never came close to beating him in Brazil, and even in the playoffs. That's not a coincidence, people. That's a pattern you cannot simply ignore. Hurts doesn't just show up. He outperforms the guys the media crowns every week. Call it what you want. I'll call that greatness. And I know what y'all gonna say. Jalen Hurts has a stacked team. He has Saquon Barkley. He has A.J. Brown. He has Devontae Smith. He has that defensive line. Okay. And what quarterback has won a Super Bowl with a trash team? Mahomes has weapons. Lamar had a top 5 defense and a top 5 running back. Burrow got Chase and Higgins. Josh Allen had a top 10 running back and a top 10 defense. Everybody's got help. But we only use this narrative to downplay what Hurts has done. And that's just pure blasphemy. But not everybody wins like Hurts. When it's crunch time, he steps up. He doesn't shrink in big moments. And he's the only quarterback drafted after Mahomes that's won a ring. We have to stop ignoring the facts, people, because it's not being done the way you want to see it done. That's not the Hurts way. And this notion that Hurts is being carried is sickening for the fact that this team was built because of Hurts. This team would not be successful if it wasn't for the leadership and the play of one. It's funny how Lamar can have similar numbers from his offensive weapons, but nobody says he's carried, or how Josh Allen has had better defenses for the majority of the last 4 years, and nobody says his defense saved him. Stop moving the goalposts because my quarterback can win under any circumstance and yours can't. And please don't let me hear this game manager nonsense anymore. Game managers don't break the rushing touchdown record for 3 years straight. Game managers don't lead game-winning drives in the playoffs. Hurts doesn't manage the game. He controls it. He controls the tempo, the momentum, and every defensive game plan. When Hurts lines up, you better account for every option because he's a walking mismatch. Just ask the Kansas City Chiefs. They had a game plan to stop the run, but forgot Hurts can beat you with his arm too. I promise you this. If Jalen Hurts played for the Dallas Cowboys, the media will be worshiping him daily. But because he plays in Philly, and everybody knows, everybody hates Philly, y'all act like he's just a good system quarterback. Nah, he is the system. He is the engine, and he is the standard. So whether y'all like it or not, Hurts is QB1, the best in the game, and you better start addressing him as such. Now let's talk about the drama in the NFC East. Micah Parsons and Terry McLaurin both went out of their teams. And this ain't small talk either. There are a lot of hurt feelings involved. Micah said he no longer wants to be part of a closed-door negotiation, no longer wants shots taken at him for getting hurt, and straight up told Jerry Jones he wants out. You don't just say that unless it's bad behind the scenes. And if your best player wants to leave, you're not a serious contender. Who knows how else the other players are responding if they see their owner doesn't even want to pay the best guy on the team. Now with Terry McLaurin, this is a tough one. Terry's been nothing but professional and pretty much wasted his youth in Washington. They ran him dry in a broken system with terrible quarterback play and now don't want to pay him while he still has juice left with a solid quarterback. Now, I don't blame him. He should definitely get paid what he wants for riding through the fire with the team. But however, he is not as young as he used to be, so it will be a tough negotiation for him. Some of the best fits for Terry could possibly be the Jets, the Bills, the Patriots, or even the Steelers. They all need a wide receiver one with heart. And if he lands in Buffalo, that could possibly be a problem for sure. Now, while Dallas and Washington are scrambling with drama, we all chilling in Philly. Got the house in order, got our stars locked in, contracts handled, our culture is stable. Man, shout out to Howie Roseman, man. That man's a contract musician, and he makes sure the best on the team is well taken care of, and I appreciate him for that. Salute Howie Roseman. So for my Tier 1 teams, Tier 1 being the worst, I call them the lost causes, numbers 25 through 32. I have the Raiders, the Bears, Titans, Colts, Browns, and Saints. These teams, they're either rebuilding or stuck in the mud, and so don't expect too many miracles out of these guys. Caleb Williams is definitely looking like a bust. Colts QB room is just pure stinky. The Saints, they have no firepower whatsoever, and everybody else is just young and still developing. So we'll see how it pans out for these teams, but don't expect much. So Tier 2 in the hunt is what I call them. I have numbers 17 through 24. I have the Bengals, the 49ers, the Seahawks, Patriots, Cardinals, Dolphins, Jaguars. I got the Bengals missing the playoffs once again. Yes, I said it. Their defense is still trash, and that is not changing my mind. I see the 49ers taking a step back due to everyone getting older. And then the Jags, they might can sneak in if Trevor Lawrence gets his act together and plays up to par. And the Cardinals may be in their last year of the Kyler Murray project. I just don't see them continuing if this year doesn't pan out. Panthers definitely look promising with that roster. And Tua may be on his way out of Miami if he doesn't show that he can win big. Tier 3, I have the contenders, number 9 through 16. Here I have the Packers, Broncos, Chargers, Steelers, Vikings, Buccaneers, Falcons, and them Cowgirls. Now the Chargers, they finally got the coach, but can that quarterback stop choking in the biggest moments? Falcons, they can win the NFC South as long as Penix balls out and their defense plays up to par. Now those Cowgirls, we'll see what happens, especially with that Micah situation. And I don't expect George Pickens to take you guys over the top because I just don't see it. And the Steelers, they look great defensively, but can they hold up with old man Rodgers? We'll see. Last but not least, we have Tier 4, those Super Bowl contenders, of course, 1 through 8. And you should already know who I have number one. Philly, baby, those birds, of course. Then we have those Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Rams, Texans, Lions, and then the Commanders. Of course, I have Philly number one. We have the best roster in football, and we are in repeat mode. So I don't expect anything less. And as far as those Kansas City Chiefs, will anybody knock them off this year? I don't know, but we will definitely see. And for those Ravens, oh yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust because they have the best roster that they've put together in a while. So it's no excuses for Lamar Jackson this year, but we'll see. And can Buffalo finally knock off Kansas City in the AFC Championship if they get there? I don't know. We'll see. But if they don't, Josh Allen is starting to look like a modern day Jim Kelly. And don't sleep on those Rams. Devontae Puka will definitely be nice, and that defense is young and hungry. So stay on the lookout for them. Those Texans, they're also a dark horse. And if anybody sees CJ Stroud, they know he's him. That he just needs a team around him to produce. So we'll see about that. And expect the Lions to take a bounce back this year due to too many coaching changes. People don't understand how much that really affects the locker room. So we'll see how they perform because they still do have the roster to compete. But will that coaching staff live up to par? We shall see. And last but not least, those Commanders. Yes, JD5 had a spectacular season last year, but can he replicate that in his sophomore season? Hopefully that sophomore slump does not sit in. We shall see. But yeah, guys, and those are my rankings 1 through 32. So let me know what you think in the comments and see if I messed up anywhere. Please let me know. Word is that ESPN let Shannon Sharpe go after a $50 million lawsuit from an OnlyFans model went through. And honestly, I hate this for Unc because I would have thought he would have learned his lesson from this Instagram live situation, just to keep his nose clean, keep his head down. But apparently not. He was just trying to fulfill fantasies that he had no business doing, and it ended up biting him in the butt. And this is just bigger than gossip, though. This not only affects Shannon, but affects a lot of black voices in the media world. Because we all know that black voices are held to a higher standard than everybody else's. We have to keep our names clean as much as possible. But you know what they say, what's done in the dark always comes to the light. And Shannon, yeah, he definitely made that mistake, but let's keep it real. He is one of the best talents in the game, and I hate to see that this happened to him. But hopefully this isn't the end, and maybe he will get another shot on the main network. Now, if he doesn't get another shot, I feel like he should just keep it on YouTube, man. He has a great thing going on with Club Shay Shay and Nightcap with Ocho. I feel like if he just continues to do those because he is a Hall of Fame player, he will continue to have a great audience and feed the fans what they want. So as long as he has that, he will be just fine, man. Shout out to Unc, though, man. You'll bounce back. Now let's get into this Hall of Fame game, man. Finally, man, something to watch on TV. I don't know about you guys, but the summer is always the worst because I have absolutely nothing to watch besides a little bit of baseball, tennis, and the WNBA. But other than that, I'm always waiting on that football season. But yeah, man, we had some few good spots in the game. Omari Hampton, he definitely looked like he could be promising for the Chargers, especially if that O-line stays healthy. Trey Lance had a nice showing. He actually looked like he belonged in the NFL, which is great for him. Maybe he'll end up becoming a serviceable backup one day. We shall see. But big shouts out to all the inductees that got inducted this year. We got Eric Allen, Sterling Sharpe, Antonio Gates, and Jared Allen. All just legends of the game and in their respective positions. Eric Allen, man, one of the all-time Eagles greats and also played for the Raiders as well. Just a lockdown corner, man. One that'll come up and smack you whenever he needed to and can also lock you up in coverage. One of a kind, truly. He kind of got overlooked because he was in the era with Dion, but you can't ignore greatness, and I'm glad he got his recognition in the Hall of Fame this year. Sterling Sharpe. Now, he was a great wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers back in the 90s, whose career was unfortunately cut short because he had a serious neck injury that forced him to medically retire. But he still put in that work in those 10 years he played, and he was definitely one of the best in the game. Now, also, Sterling is Shannon Sharpe's brother. So this makes them the first two pair of brothers to get inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is a great feat, especially for them coming from the rural parts of Georgia. I'm sure they never dreamed of this type of accomplishment. And I'm sure that all of their ancestors are smiling down on the both of them because they have definitely made a name for the Sharpe family, man. Shout out to Sterling, man. Definitely a great role model. Shannon even said himself, he learned everything from his brother. So shout out to Sterling. And Antonio Gates, man, another great tight end of my generation growing up. He was a red zone threat. He could catch any ball thrown his way. Just a great, great tight end, man. He also is the only Hall of Famer to have never played a snap of college football. Now, this is a great feat and extremely impressive to me because I am the one who typically says that basketball players can't just easily transition over to football. But Antonio Gates is definitely one of those rare exceptions, and he definitely showed that throughout his career, man. So shout out to Antonio, man, for beating those odds and making his name in the Hall of Fame. And last but not least, man, Jared Allen, a sack master, man, on that defensive end position, was giving plenty of offensive tackles trouble. He definitely had a nice sack celebration to go along with it, man. He made a Super Bowl with the Panthers. Didn't win one, but he's definitely one of the greats as well. Shouts out to him, man, because he definitely is well-deserved. These guys laid the foundation for the game that we love today, man. So I just had to get on here and give them their flowers as deserved, for sure. That's a wrap episode for episode 1 of Ball Talk with Paul. We talked about Jalen Hurts' greatness, Micah and Terry's trade request, broke down the NFL from top to bottom, Shannon Sharpe's fallout, and gave love to the Hall of Fame class. Now do me a favor, guys. Please subscribe, like, follow, and share this episode. And drop your top 5 teams in the comment and tag somebody who still disrespects Jalen Hurts. We coming with new heat every week. Now that's it for this episode of Ball Talk with Paul, y'all. See y'all next time. We out.